call the regular school board meeting to order so that all board members are present. Lynette is joining us at 1601 South Pacific Street, Oceanside, California. So she's joining remotely, so all of our votes will be roll call tonight.
First, we need a motion to approve the agenda. Moved by Sixberry, second by Hancock. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote. We'll start with you, Lynette.
Here.
Okay.
Okay.
Sixberry.
Aye.
Civilian. Friesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson. Okay, motion carries. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one under God, liberty and justice for all.
We have one open forum, so I will read the rules for open forum. The guidelines for open forum are as follows. Speakers must state their name. Each speaker will be provided 3 minutes. No action can be taken unless the matter addressed is formally on the agenda. Speaker will not make negative comments regarding any employee of the district. The board chair can end the open forum at any time. Please note that data privacy laws do not allow for any matters concerning individual employees or students to be discussed. Okay, Timothy Myers.
Thank you. My name is Timothy Myers. I'm a resident within the Big Lake School District. Thank you for being school board members, and I do appreciate your time and dedication. In 2023, the Minnesota legislature passed a law allowing school boards, if they choose, to renew an operating levy one time without local voter taxpayer approval. Some school board members from other districts went on record saying they would not vote to do that. Local residents have always had that decision in control regarding funding to their schools. However, in January of 2024, the Big Lake School Board voted to take $22.4 million of local taxpayers' money without our vote. I did not receive a letter in the mail asking for my input, nor an explanation for why the school board did that. Apparently, $22.4 million of our money is not worthy of such a mailing. However, during the summer and fall of 2024, there were articles in the local paper regarding 3 school district questions on the November ballot, asking for an additional $50 million from the taxpayers. 3 multi-page color announcements were mailed to each address in the district. Why? Because the school district needed our vote to get that money. Yet nowhere in those articles or mailings did it mention that earlier in the year the school board voted to renew the operating levy. I attended the candidates forum in the fall and the Truth in Taxation meeting in December, and there was no mention of it. I was not aware of the school board renewal of the operating levy until February of 2025, only after talking with the district administration. Since then, I've talked to many community members who said they were not aware of what the school board did and could not believe our board would do that. No mailings asking for our input or an announcement of what they did was sent to the district residents. How many residents research board meeting agendas and minutes? I will from now on. The voters were clear in November, but should the board vote to authorize a special election, do not refer to a survey conducted by the school district. Unless you can show that each survey was submitted by an eligible voter residing in the district and only submitting one survey, the survey is not valid. If people have told you, board members, that they feel the district has needs, then ask them for a donation in full to pay for it. Or, when they refuse, ask them how the district should get the money other than from the local taxpayers. The school district gets money from the state and federal government and local taxpayers. Just a reminder, the local taxpayers are also the state and federal coffers. $22.4 million. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would like a printed copy? Anybody? May I approach? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And again, I appreciate. I don't want to do that. I appreciate.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda, the previous minutes from the June 25th regular board meeting. Claims and accounts, the amount of $2,724,143.78. The credit card report, the personnel report, and the policies listed, the one read policies listed below. I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Second by Sixberry. Any other discussion? Okay, it'll be a roll call vote, starting with Lynette.
Aye.
Sixberry. Shibillion. Reesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson. Okay, the motion carries. On to the financial report.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Members of the board, as Angie makes her way up here for the report,
I just want to remind the board members if we could make sure you push your speaker microphone on, just for the sake of Lynette, and making sure that she can hear and understand. Lynette, are you hearing okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So I just want to remind people that. That's it.
All right. Can you hear me, Lynette?
Yes, I can, Angie.
Okay, all right. So very short financial report tonight, because it is July, and we're kind of in between seasons here. We're working on our audit for 24-25, but I just thought I would let you know where we are at, because we always talk about enrollment every month. So we're doing our year-end reporting, and so the 24-25 ADM, or I just call it our enrollment budget, this includes students served and students elsewhere that we pay tuition on, was $31.99, and then our June Mars data report is slightly under that. However, I'm not concerned because it's early, and I think a lot of other districts have not totally reported. So I am confident we're going to at least meet or exceed that total number. And then the second bullet point there, and this you see every month, our ADM served budget. So these are the kids that we're serving here, 3127, and we ended up about 10 ADMs over. So because we were trending at the end of the year that we kept gaining kids, and so that did end up over our budget. So actually we're doing okay. We should be doing okay for 24-25. 25-26 kindergarten update. I think I was going to give an update, but I don't actually have updated numbers. They're actually a couple weeks old, so I'd like to hold that until August when I have some more firm numbers. I just put it as a placeholder on there when I did this last week. And then, as I mentioned, the financial audit, that year-end close and audit process has begun. We have auditors here doing some preliminary work Monday and Wednesday. They're not here on Tuesday because they have a training. The final field work will be the week of September 29th, which is a week earlier than normal. And then, but as normal, they'll do, Caroline will be here doing the audit presentation at the November school board meeting, which is the week before Thanksgiving. So, and that's all I have for tonight, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Okay, motion made by Hancock, second by Nelson. Any other discussion or questions for Angie? Okay, Brown.
Aye.
Sixberry. Shibillion. Reesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, Angie. LTFM plan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Lynette, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. All right, so we are doing our annual LTFM 10-year plan approval tonight. So what I have before you is our fiscal year 2027 LTFM, or long-term facilities maintenance board resolution, as well as budget. This is something that we put out every year for part of the LTFM eligibility in order to receive the funding. In years past, we've bonded with some of that funding, and this is one of those low years because we've got a lot of payments with our LTFM plan for the projects that we did previously, which was roofs and the HVAC over at the middle school in this building. We did a lot of HVAC systems, the boiler room over at Independence, and some of those other large items. So it's a low year, so as far as pay-as-you-go, it is primarily going to be our typical health and safety requirements, the inspections and such. And then we have a little bit of deferred maintenance, and it's mainly just some parking lot stuff, which has actually already been completed, so a little bit of site work. And then we do have, as part of this year, we have a pay-as-you-go project for the pool, which was an additional levy authority pay-as-you-go. That's the 1.3 million that you see there under 366. And then currently we do have, due to the change in current legislation, we do have a projected $2.4 million roofing project. However, that may change depending on other projects if those become available. We just wouldn't have the capabilities. So what I'm putting before you is the plan that we'd like to submit to MDE with your approval. Any questions?
So one of the things, and this is what we did review with the Buildings and Grounds Committee, and John has it up there right now. So if you kind of scroll through the full 10 years, we want to make sure that ending fund balance is always positive, and you can see that it is. Like we don't want to be presenting you a plan that's going to put us in a deficit. So this is our plan right now. But as we know, it changes every year, but annually we are required to have the school board approve this plan.
Finance committee for this, right?
We talked about it, yeah.
And then buildings and reviewed last month.
Yeah.
Because originally our intent was to put it through last month, however, we had some other things that we needed to get some further information on, so. The state hadn't finalized the legislation as well, so there was kind of a damper. So,
So the 2027 placeholder, what would that be addressing?
that would be addressing our remaining roofing sections that are in dire need, that are coming up. If we were to not do them, we'd have to just defer them for a little bit longer, so we'd have to continue to patch those current roofs. So we've got 3 buildings that are not complete. So we've got a little bit of roofing at Independence, mainly the 1987 section of the building. So that building, there's 3 sections. There's a couple of sections in the 1974 portion of this building, the middle school, as well as a couple of portions of the 1987 building that have some older rubber roofs on them yet, that had been replaced once before, but they've done much thinner material, and we've been putting in built-up roofs that are 30 plus years instead of a 10-year roof. We're going 30-year minimum roof. And then there's a little bit at the high school, mainly the gymnasium, which is kind of a key one. We don't ever want that to leak because there's a pretty big investment there on that wood floor. And then the wrestling room roof as well. So.
And those were not able to be completed via bond because of
I read the report.
Currently, yeah, those weren't able to be done with the previous bond, and they were less than 20 years old at that time, some of them. So, and now they're over the 20-year mark, and they're starting to age, and this new funding became available as well. So.
We were just talking about LTFM during one of our meetings today, and this plan is required since 2015 when this came in.
Yes.
In
16 was
and you'll see it kind of projects out 10 years. And to be honest with you, the most accurate are basically maybe 2 years out. So you look beyond that, and it's kind of like when you do your long-term planning in your home. When you think out, we're going to need this in 5 years, we're going to need this in 8 years, or this will be this, that, this, and that. So really, I appreciate Mandy spent a lot of time working on this and kind of prioritizing that. Obviously, with the bonding concept, you can move a lot of levers to maximize these dollars as well. So I think they've done a nice job. But this is one that every by July 31st, we're supposed to have it approved by the board. So with the delay from some of the information, I'm sure every school district in the state of Minnesota is getting this done. And it happens on an annual basis. So.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that we didn't have to pass the bond reference.
Correct.
Funding stream was previously available, so I just wanted to clarify why it wasn't that. It was that.
We did a portion of the worst of the worst. So we're getting down there. I mean, right now we're looking at hopefully with this it would finish us up to where all the roof sections would be good for 30 years, which means some of them would probably start coming due in about 2046. So I should be long retired by then.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
You need a motion to approve, correct? I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Sixberry, second by Shabilian. Any other discussions or questions? Okay, roll call vote. Brown.
Aye.
Sixberry.
Aye.
Shabilian. Reesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Resolution relating to determining the necessity of approving a new referendum, revenue revenue authorization
authorization
and issuing general obligation bonds and calling a special election.
Yes, Madam
Yes, Madam
Chair,
Chair,
members of the board, this was actually in front of you last month, but because we were short on a few
short
board
on a
members
few board
last
members
month, we decided to delay.
and
So glad
Lynette
was able
Lynette
to join us across the country,
so
so that we can have basically essentially a full board for voting, because this is one that we want to make sure that the full board is in support of and well aware of. This resolution is standard. About a year ago, we had one very similar to this, except it wasn't a special election because it was on the general election year. But just to highlight a few items that are on there, obviously it refers to the two questions that we do have. It actually lists the questions specifically, including basically verbiage on the ballot, and does allow a table that includes the questions, the amount of money people would be taxed, so on and so forth, as well as a combined polling place, which we'll be talking a little bit about in terms of some of the, not combined, because we already did that, but more so the special early voting
location and whatnot.
But generally
speaking, it's all in order, and I would recommend approval at this time.
I'll just add to Tim's comment too, like in here also, it says that this is contingent upon a positive review and comment, and we've already gotten those results. So that we already know has
We do.
So, yeah, and as Tim mentioned there, the notice of special election is in here, that will go out to all taxpayers. Sample ballot is in this resolution, so.
I'll make the motion to approve the notice of special election.
I'll second.
Motion made by Sixberry, second by Nelson. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, roll call vote. Brown.
Aye.
Sixberry.
Aye.
Shabilian. Reesner. Aye. Hancock. Nelson. The resolution passes. Thank you. Big Lake Community Food Shelf Agreement discussion.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, I did send this out in my weekly actually earlier this week. This has been a journey, to say the least. But we are super close. You'll see that it is a draft form. It's for discussion purposes only at this time. I can tell you that conversations, and actually I received and I forwarded it to the board chair as well, from Sandy, the director, from the food shelf, and she has assured us of their commitment to this partnership. It's just they have to have their attorneys take a final look at this, and I explained to her that from a timing perspective, it's imperative that we are communicating with our constituents, and I said that we are going to communicate with our constituents, do a press release after this saying that the food shelf is committed, and she said go for it. And so our communications, which we'll discuss at the work session later tonight, actually includes portions of and some descriptors of the food shelf partnership. So I'm excited for that partnership because I do think that will add a great service for our community and an opportunity for our students to learn. So I just want to take the time to publicly acknowledge that this in fact is a draft of the agreement. I'm not asking for any action on it this evening, but I did want to just publicly recognize and make sure that we knew publicly that food shelf has committed and they are all in on the partnership. So I just want to leave it at that. Unless there's specific questions or we can move on, but I just felt like we need to have that as a placeholder so that when we communicated it was public.
Any questions about that? Moving on to the resolution establishing the location for absentee voting.
But I'm sure members
But
of
I'm sure
the
members of the board, I should just
be
be taking
this
this entire section of the agenda.
and just taking it. Yes.
Yes.
So this
So
is
this is the location of the
established
established
location
location for the absentee ballot
which is going to be
essentially the district office.
Unique. Last time we did this last fall was a general election.
And so they voted for early voting and whatnot at the government center. But because of the special election, we have a location in which that takes place. This resolution states all the legalities involved with that. But it also establishes that be it resolved that it is located established the school district office at 701 Minnesota Avenue, door J, in Big Lake, Minnesota. That's the location for our early voting.
We are working on
the logistics of that. But as of right now, that is our location, and we would appreciate an approval from
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution relating to establishing a location for absentee voting school district elections not held on the day of the statewide election.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Sixberry, second by Brown. Any other discussions? Okay. Roll call vote. Brown.
Aye.
Sixberry.
Aye.
Shabillion. Reesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson. Okay, the resolution passes. Next one is resolution establishing ballot board.
Yes.
what this resolution does,
Madam
Chair,
members of the board, is this engages action. Essentially, we are going to be looking into getting ballot board in place. Kim has assured me that we will have a list of names by next month. For you, will they approve that next month as well? And again, this is something we have to do as special election. Again, recommend the approval of this resolution at this time.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution establishing ballot board.
Okay, motion made by Shabillion. Second by Hancock. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Brown.
Aye.
Sixberry.
Aye.
Shabillion. Reesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson. The resolution passes. Next we have the second reading of those policies listed. And then they'll be here again next month for approval. Student handbook review.
Yes,
Madam Chair, members of the board, I know I sent these out ahead of time as well. I did not hear from any board members if there were specific questions. Linda has assured me, and actually, that if there were specific questions at this time, but I did not receive any.
It's important for the board to not only have an opportunity to review that, but to be aware of that. As they will likely get questions throughout the year about certain things. So the awareness is key here, which is why we try to have review them on an annual basis. So if there's some specific questions, other than that, we can just move on. There were some
minor updates from what I understand. The specifics, it was COVID. We changed COVID things.
And then we also put in the
Therapy dog.
You know what, I saw that one. I was just reading.
Yep, so that was, and then middle school, added just a couple of things that they had, but they made it just a little bit clearer about water bottles and blankets. So they just made that a little more articulate for middle school.
There might have been final
Definition.
So there was no
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 substantial
substantial
changes. They did
changes.
a lot of work last summer when they sent, as you recall,
used to be one great big handbook. When they separated things out, they really did a nice job.
And also, I
I
remember, we had a work session.
we had a work session on this last summer,
Extensive
an extensive work
It
session.
was very
It
helpful.
was very helpful. So like I said, very minimal changes this year.
All four APs did together though, so they did go through it together, so they're still online.
Thank you. Okay. School board committee representative update. Finance. We haven't met since then. We have met since policy. Buildings and grounds met last week.
We met tonight. Is TJ gonna take it, or just want me to? I was just gonna say, we talked about bond projects, he gave us an update on the budget. The middle school media center renovations, we discussed that and how that's going. And then we touched on special education, space renovations, and that we might be just pausing on that at this time. And then really, the hail, hail claim progress. He gives an update on that as well, which he did a really nice job on that. Getting some additional funds for depreciation back to the school district. And then finally the LTFM. Just kind of reviewing the 2027 plan that we were going to approve tonight. TJ's put a lot of work into this and just keeps us really, really up to date. So I appreciate that.
So yeah, one of the biggest concerns is the middle school contractors been falling behind, and we've been going after them for some performance kind of based stuff as far as following up with not getting us our documentation on time, not getting enough work done on time. Last month when we met, demolition was ongoing. They were starting to put walls up. There was still one major wall that needed to come down. We've been pushing them to get that major wall down. The wall is finally down, but they need to get structural steel in there and get that up so that we can finish rebuilding. So they have fallen behind, and we've been pushing them. They've been working weekends. They have been working a little bit later hours. I'd like to see them working basically like 2 shifts, almost around the clock, ideally, but we don't necessarily dictate all those things. We can only push as hard as we can, and we are working with Wold and the bond company, so we will be probably going after some of their performance bond, or if we have to, we can go after all of it. But at this time, we did decide that it is best to not have them address the special ed areas that we had wanted to have them also address. But we're kind of late in the design because we had to get everything else out to bid. So we will have to bid that as a separate project for next summer. But that does two things. It actually allows us a little bit more opportunity to maybe put a little bit more into it because we couldn't get a plumbing permit in time. So we wouldn't been able to separate the restrooms, which would have been much more ideal. So we can at least put that in as an alternate when we do reissue. And we shouldn't have nearly the concerns. It'll be a smaller project, so it may open the door for more contractors. Hopefully not this contractor. If this contractor was low bid, again, I would highly recommend that we disregard their bid. And I think we'd have more than enough sufficient evidence for the auditors to be able to disallow their bid if they were low bid, just based on their current performance with the issues that we've been having. So right now we will probably have opening of school that will not allow students to be able to use the media center for probably at least that first week. I mean, just kind of bracing for that. We're hoping for the best. We're pushing to try and get them done and out of here before school starts, but I think we have to also plan for the worst. So I'd rather plan for the worst and have better results. But at this time, we're probably going to have kind of like when you're in the shopping mall and a store closes and they put the little temp wall with sheetrock up. We're going to probably have that covering that opening. And then we'll also have to put out some communication to the parents of the middle school of that process. And we'll require all contractors, of course, to check in with the office and be badged and everything. And they'll actually have a separate entrance. But there could be some active construction. It would be more just finishes at that time. But it will delay some of our opening of that space. So we'll be having to push back our delivery of furniture and getting the books in place and everything else.
And there's performance issues and things like this. Is there something contractually what we're able to hold them accountable, or?
We have the performance bond, which can hold them accountable, but we can't necessarily back charge just for them not getting it done on time. We do have contract documents that they can't come to us and ask for more money because of their unforeseen circumstances or because they weren't able to get it done on time or whatever. If it costs them additional, that's coming out of their pocket. Or they can go after the bond, and if we go after the bond, it essentially keeps them from being able to do any public work in the future because you're required to have bonding. And if you go after their bond and receive money, bonding companies don't like to issue bonds to companies that fail. So it either A, will be really expensive or impossible for them. So one of the two.
So they become highly motivated.
They become highly motivated to make sure that they get it done with fidelity.
And I've been visiting with TJ the past couple weeks about this, and he's been really good about meeting with construction workers, with Mark, consistent basis and getting the team together, but we just reached a point to where it's essentially unrealistic for us to be able to open it up that first week of school. And I can assure you, TJ and his team have been doing everything they can to try to speed this process along. But for whatever reason, that construction company is not necessarily, plus there's some supply things and all kinds of things. But they are working. TJ's on them. But like I said, at this point, we'll have some delivery walls up. We're planning on that. And so I know that
Mark is aware.
Mark Ernst.
So we will make it work.
Because that's what we have to do.
It'll be a grand opening.
Just not for open house day, unfortunately. So, we've been fortunate all along, with all the bond projects that we have done in the last 5 years. We've been able to get them done on time and under budget or within budget. This one, still going to stay with that budget, but on time is, I think, not obtainable at this point, just based on their current performance. So.
Well, and it's unfortunate because you're very busy and a lot on your plate to have to then manage the company that's supposed to be managing the project for you. That's frustrating.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than overseeing when you're having to tell them that, no, that's not acceptable, you need to have the stock cutter here by tomorrow. Otherwise, you will not make this date and this date and this date. Okay, I shouldn't have to hold your hand and do your job for you, but sometimes that's what it takes, so.
Well, we appreciate the extra effort. We went through it pretty thoroughly during the meeting. I want you to touch on this, and I'm glad you did, but I think that you've done a really good job following up on it. Appreciate all the extra efforts.
Yeah.
I know it adds
Thank
stress to your
It
days.
is. It is what it is. Thank you. Sure. So that was also the middle school. We had some special education rooms that we were looking to renovate, but when we held off on planning the middle school renovations, because we were hoping to do that as part of the bond, additional bond work, so that way we could hopefully get some savings on kind of the scale. If we would have been doing the field houses, it would have passed in November. So we didn't start the planning until after the bond failed. Because we were hoping to be able to tie some of those things in, as well as kind of incorporate some things as well, because we would have had setting forward, and it could have displaced kind of our current special education area as well, so then that would have kind of led to further changes. When that did not happen, we had to get first the media center, kind of the bulk of it planned, and then work with the staff on the changes for special education spaces. So we were issuing that as a PR, price request. So it would have been a change order during construction. And as they've kind of been progressing and not showing enough progress, I looked at both and I said, guys, you can tell them cancel even giving us a price for that, because I'm not concerned about them not being able to get this done, and it'll actually give us an opportunity. And our bond passes in November. It may have other changes as well, because we could maybe incorporate it into some other work. We did have some other special ed needs that we wanted to address, so we may be able to expand that a little bit further as well at that time. But we do have dollars that we set aside for that I have now pulled back in the budget. And then we had some remaining kind of contingency dollars that I've been kind of holding for kind of other items that we could also tap into as well. So we're going to have roughly somewhere in about that $350,000 to $400,000 all said and done for the special education space. We had kind of figured it was going to be somewhere in that $200,000 for what we had kind of currently planned. If we expand those bathrooms a little bit more, we could easily slip into the 300 to 350 easily.
So it'll be next.
So it'll be an excellent project, but
And these were those spaces that tour we went on,
Yeah.
the long tour we went over here.
with the yellow floor and the mixed match
floor and the
casework.
It just doesn't make sense to have a company that can't complete one job, start another, so I think
Yeah.
the call to hold off was a good, yeah.
We're setting the funds.
No.
So no matter what happens in November, we'll be able to still get that area done. It just might be if November might change things, we may be able to expand it a just a little bit further and make sure that we address any other kind of items as well at that time, or if there's any other smaller spaces that are part of that $1 million that we have set aside in the budget for construction for the middle school for spaces like CTE, general ed, and as well as special education. We could expand into those areas and kind of take care of those projects at that same time. So. And we could also tie them into items with the field house. So. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You bet.
Were there any other board representatives?
I think they meet in summer, right? Tech?
Right Tech does not meet in July, but I can say that the new director, Brian Nutter, has started and we'll be meeting with him as board members individually, so that'll be coming up.
And I was asked to be his mentor. So
Perfect.
I'll be meeting with Brian Atticus as his mentor. Through our association, neighboring superintendents are assigned to new people. So I was asked yesterday.
Great.
Okay, on to the summary of the superintendent evaluation. I printed off the goals Tim had sent us just kind of as a reminder. The first goal we had talked about during our closed session, to achieve the world's best workforce goal for all students in the district. Tim shared with us that he ensured systems, resources, communication efforts, and accountability measures are in place to increase student achievement. I think we had a large discussion about how you've got a really great team that you put together and communicate with to help achieve those goals.
We also talked about goal two, creating a positive environment for the staff culture, where one where staff feels universally supported, and they brought in time block for that, and all of the schools built at least one goal around that to help with that. so we did talk about those items. And then the last goal we had talked about was family and communication engagement. The superintendent will facilitate a positive and that education informs the board around facilities and financial needs, and we've been doing a lot of that in our work sessions. So, and I think as an overall consensus during our meeting, we felt that achieving these goals might be continuing because of some of the things that we're continuing to work on. So, is that good? Okay. I said I was told I could just say he was doing fine. So. Okay. On to the superintendent report.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I do have a report. It is small, so don't worry. I thought I was going to skip July. Nope. I've got information for you. First, department updates. I just want to mention the Department of Teaching and Learning. We have our district curriculum committee advisory recruitment time right now. So, in the time frame for just letting us know before the first meet, right?
Before August 30th.
Yes.
Would be appreciated.
So if there are individuals who would be interested in participating, obviously we meet three times. I asked this afternoon. Three times. Or as needed. Yes. Throughout the year. Usually stacked right in front of a school board meeting, so it comes in pretty handy for different presentations. So just putting that word out to the public to do that. Quick negotiations update. Blem. There's nothing necessarily new to report other than we are preparing for our July 29th session next week. We're getting there. And BLA, or Big Lake Administration Association. John, is that right? Yes. That would be the principal group. Just received a letter. Proposal to start our negotiations with the group. So we'll review the letter and touch base with Tanya and Chelsea in the future. We literally just received that yesterday. So that's reading. Referendum. A couple things. Just to kind of. I'm going to save most of my comments for the communications plan discussion following the work session. But I do want to just mention that in November, originally we had planned our November work session to be November 5th. But that does not necessarily make sense when we could meet later and we could canvass the votes. So I would respectfully ask for you all to take a look at November 12th, moving our work session from November 5th to November 12th, which would allow us to be in that window for the canvassing of the votes.
Is that something that could work?
A
couple thumbs up and over here.
I'm assuming so. I haven't put my work calendar.
Same time. Let's go our normal study or work session time is 6:30. Okay. So we will go ahead and move that November 12th date, Kim. And then also, I just want to make the board aware, I do have to do a little bit of research on this. I have requested, it was a while ago, so I need to follow up an email to Hannah at the city to present for the referendum, which is going to be fine. But the problem is that their meetings are at the same time as ours. So we may, I just want to put it on just a heads up that in September, we may need to delay the start of ours. I would like to go present, and I would like a few board members well, like I did last year. I think they do, but I don't know when. So it might be our best bet, 7 o'clock that night instead of 6:30. So just on your radar, but I would obviously communicate it and post it differently, given the fact that were the case. And then also from around the district, I'm going to delay that one until after the work session. Really cool stuff I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you. Stephanie and Morgan are going to show you. But I'm going to delay it from around the district. But calendar. We've got a couple things happening. July 29th, Ashley and Derek. We've got BLEM negotiations from 5 to 7 scheduled. Unless of course we settle or get close to it. So you never know. So also August 13th, board work session. Undetermined what the agenda item is, but I am sure we will have one. So I'm not worried about that, but stay tuned on that. We'll call that a cliffhanger at this time. New teacher workshop is August 18th through 21st. Back to school workshop is August 25th to the 28th. And I want to draw your attention to August 26th. It's the all-staff breakfast and welcome back presentation. It's from 7:30 to 9. I would encourage board members to attend. I know Ashley's been there a few times. Lynette, I think you've come a few times as well. It's a nice opportunity. It's one of the few times that all of the employees from the school district are in one space. So it's really kind of neat. And we do kind of a cool activity at the end of the auditorium. And it's pretty neat. So I would encourage you if you're available. I know some of you are not. But if you are available, come and check it out. It's a good breakfast and supplied by Chartwells, and it's a good presentation usually. So and then of course our regular school board meeting is on August 27th of that week. So those are the calendar. So that completes my report. Unless of course there are questions. Oh, I did want to follow up with one question I received. Ashley was asking. I know earlier in the summer the principals did do a homeschool information open house earlier in the summer, and it was pretty well attended in terms of there was a handful of people, but I think there were some additional people that were maybe wondering and have come forward and interested in coming to another one. I know that Principal Dr. North was meeting with the homeschool parent today, one of those individuals, and was trying to figure out if it makes sense for us to do one here this next month or so, or maybe even in September. So that's on the docket in terms of being considered, but he's on it. So, and he was kind of the one of the principals that led that up. So it was pretty well attended, and it was a great connection with that particular group of women.
I just realized something because we moved our board meeting.
Yep. Oh, you do? Okay.
So I won't be able to.
We should probably take a look at August then to reschedule.
Probably.
Okay.
If we wanted to
do it Thursday, that would be nice. Say like the 26th or 28th.
all of a sudden I just realized, I think that's the same.
I think I would prefer the 26th if possible.
Okay.
Can you say that again, Tim?
August 26th.
For the board meeting.
It'd be a Tuesday instead of the 27th. Scheduling conflict. Move the regular board meeting. Okay.
I would like that.
I don't know if you care about me, but I can't make the 26th.
Well, we definitely care about you.
No, I mean, you know what I meant.
Yeah, I know what you mean. PJ, John, Stephanie.
It would be pretty light financially.
It would be, I would, because I can get the information voted.
Okay.
You can email me ahead of time.
Okay. So, Derek, Chelsea,
I think I can make the 26th work. I might have to run out earlier. I might be a little late. I've got a couple things going on, but I should be able to move those around.
Okay. Lynette, how does your 26th look?
I would rather the 26th, please.
Okay. So it's looking like the 26th is the August board meeting. I'll change that on And I will send these
And
out
I will
in
send these out in my
updates
updates as well, just as
reminders.
reminders.
So, okay.
So,
gotta
okay,
change that.
gotta change up my calendar.
All right.
All right.
It just all of a
It
sudden
just all of a
dawned
sudden
on me.
dawned on
Wind
me.
up that way.
Lisa and I was back to work. I'm like, okay.
I know.
I know, so am I,
Yeah.
so am I.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
okay,
Okay.
That
that concludes my report, unless there's further questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that we're just talking about, did you ever connect with the private person?
Yep.
Yep, in my weekly update last week, I said I have a meeting with them at 9 o'clock. No,
It's
next Tuesday, Mindy and I are meeting, Tuesday, I think, right?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock next Tuesday.
I was just curious.
Yeah, and they
reached out on a couple topics. One was,
Minda needed some information
because
because
we
we
are required to partner with them for title,
as well
as I reached out with them in regards to any transportation.
Because again, those are all
pieces that
you're
you're
required to
required to
partner
with for, with private schools.
and then also,
because we are within that 10-mile radius of the Monticello nuclear plant.
Yeah.
they
wanted
to see if we could
we
partner in on other
plan.
nuclear plan. But at this time, it's looking like
it's
they're
looking
going
like
to be
it's separate.
We'll have the conversation.
So,
I met them.
I met them at the community fair.
Minda and I both
Met them at
them at
community
Otherwise,
fair.
we'll sit down and have a cup of coffee
and just start the conversation.
No, I thought maybe I already have a meeting.
Nope, next Tuesday.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Okay. I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting so that we can go to our work session. Second by Shabilia. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Brown.
Aye.
Sixberry. Shabilian. Reesner, aye. Hancock. Nelson.
Aye.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned.